Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattox, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
In the last episode, we talked about creating space to grow and develop and all of the things that happen when you have environments that are not designed to perpetually kind of engage you in distraction or what have you. Your everyday rituals, your comforts, that kind of thing. I want to talk in today's episode about the role of silence in this. We don't often, as a society, cultivate silence as either a positive and proactive response, nor as a meaningful answer to kind of the challenges that we face. But silence is an amazing tool to solve all sorts of problems in everyday life. So we'll go through them in no particular order. One of the first things that silence can do for you is, again, it's that part of that creating space. So cultivate silence inside yourself. And what does that mean? That means not, I guess we'll kind of synonymously use silence and stillness together. It means not immediately responding to your first knee-jerk reaction. It means allowing space for your thoughts to emerge and arise without judgment or discernment. And in silence, not responding to those kind of emotions as they arise, those thoughts as they emerge. The same thing is true in response to other people. You can proactively create space, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. By allowing silence to mature in the moment, you can help people kind of do some of the mental backfilling that they would do on their own. I'll give you kind of an example and we'll see how this plays. But if somebody says something objectionable to you, maybe it's, emotionally or politically charged or some sort of something offensive, you can engage, you can deflect, or you can remain silent. Remaining silent is a response that allows the moment to come to fullness. So somebody's says something that is just awful, for example, maybe full of hatred or bigotry or whatever, and you let that just sit. And what'll happen is it's very much like something smelly or awful in the room. And as it just sits there and does what it does, kind of matures, you will have created a space for people to essentially go, maybe I need to think about what I'm saying. Maybe I need to reconsider my behavior, my action. This silence is a little bit different than things like acquiescence or submission. So I want to be clear there too, because there are moments in our life that we surrender to on purpose. You surrender to the idea of falling in love. You surrender to the idea of, listening to music is very much an act of surrender in a lot of ways. Silence is not necessarily that. It may be viewed as that from others, but silence in many ways is a absolutely proactive and active response to stop yourself from acting in the moment and being silent, remaining silent. You can influence the outcomes you're trying to create. Same thing's true again internally. As we cultivate this silence, as we cultivate the sort of non-doing that comes with the silence that is cultivated and stillness that's cultivated internally, the world around us will try and fill this gap. And you'll see as that happens, sometimes what they try and fill it with is just obviously and visibly absurd. And that is where you can actually use that silence, use that space as a proactive agent for change. Because the absurdity doesn't last, right? People go, wait a minute, I just said something completely ridiculous and he didn't respond or she didn't respond at all. What did I say? If you think about that, if you allow that to mature, you might find, again, in your own practice, your own experience, that if you cultivate this silence and start actively using it as a tool conversationally, I've found it works really well with children. They get kind of, they feel like they need to fill the space, and oftentimes with less of a filter, they will kind of talk themselves through maybe the wrong answers a couple times before they get to the right one. And silence, allowing that space to mature, allowing that openness to be, is a great way to help folks, again, come along for the ride and see the things that maybe they've refused to see or refused to examine before it's exited their mouth. And so cultivate silence. I think you'll find that practice in and of itself, internally and as well as externally, that silence and stillness will be really productive for you moving forward.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at amasonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at amasonswork.com. The work is within. The time is now.